In Russia, mass shooting at Moscow concert have left at least 40 dead and 140 injured, while the evacuation of people is ongoing. In Venezuela, the candidate registration process for the July 28th presidential election reaches its second day. And in Palestine, authorities report new airstrikes by the Israeli occupation army in the city of Rafah that left at least 8 dead and several injured. Hello and welcome to From the South. I'm Alejandra Garcia from teleSUR Studios in Havana, Cuba. We begin with the news. We return live to Russia at this moment to bring you the latest update on the terrorist attack that took the life of over 40 civilians and where over 140 people have been reported injured. Authorities are still working to control the flames following Friday's armed attack in the Russian capital. In this regard, the latest information assures that progress has been made in the work of extinguishing the flames. Firefighters and rescue teams continue at the scene of the attack. So far, at least 40 dead and about 140 wounded have been confirmed. According to a sitting plan of the venue, up to 6,200 people may have been inside the concert hall at the time of the attack. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said that President Vladimir Putin was informed of the attack within the first few minutes and that he is receiving constant updates on the situation. Moreover, the state-run RIA Novosti news agency reported that Russian Interior Minister Vladimir Kolokovets arrived at the scene. According to Russia's domestic security service, at least 3 unidentified individuals in camouflage opened fire with assault rifles at the crowd gathered at the Crocus City Hall concert venue near Moscow, setting the venue on fire. Right after, local authorities said that all forces and means were directed to the scene of the incident. This ordered Russia's foreign ministry urged the international community to condemn the incident, which it characterized as a terrorist attack. Russian Deputy Prime Minister, for his part, Tatiana Golikova, and Health Minister Mikhail Murashko arrived at the Federal Center for Disaster Medicine to coordinate medical assistance to the victims of the terrorist attack at Crocus City Hall. More than 70 ambulances and disaster medicine teams are working at the site of the terrorist attack. A member of the band Picnic, which was scheduled to perform on Friday evening, has been missing after the attack, the band's director has told RIA Novosti news agency. Multiple firefighting helicopters have been deployed to the scene. Footage released by Russian Emergencies Ministry shows the spread of fire has not been stopped yet. As of this moment, firefighters continue at the scene, trying to control the fire. Some 37 people injured in the attack have been hospitalized, according to the Health Ministry of Moscow region. In this sense, helicopters and all the rescue operation forces continue working to prevent the expansion of the flames, while authorities keep on investigating the incident. It is expected that Russian authorities deliver more updates about the investigative process, although the Islamic State claimed responsibility for the attack late on Friday in a post on Telegram in which the group claimed its gunmen had managed to escape afterwards. This haven't been confirmed by the Russian government. In this regard, reactions continue to come from many countries, such as the President of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, who expressed his condolences to the President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, in connection with the emergency in the Crocus City Hall, reported the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Belarus. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Azerbaijan has also commented on this event and stated that they strongly condemned the heinous attack on the Crocus City concert complex in Moscow. They also expressed their heartfelt condolences to the families of the innocent victims, as well as to the people and the government of the Russian Federation. In addition, The Ministry of Foreign Affairs wishes a speedy recovery to all the injured. As a country victim of terrorism, Azerbaijan condemns terrorism in all its forms. The President of the Republic of Kazakhstan, Tokayev, declares that Kazakhstan strongly condemns the terrorist act against civilians in Moscow. Let's take a short break, but remember you can join us on TikTok at teleSUR English, where you will find news in different formats, news updates, and more. Other stories coming up, stay with us. Welcome back to From the South. In Venezuela, the process of registration of candidates for the presidential elections is to be held on July 28th. Continues. On this second day of registration, two of the main right-wing parties registered their respected official candidates. Let's see more details in the following report of our correspondent Gladys Quesada.
Yes, thanks for the time and the contact here from the South and also for teleSUR English. Yes, as we were reporting, today was the second day of the process of registry here in the National Electoral Council of Venezuela, where every candidate, every nominee by each political force in the country can come, and after submitting their digital inscription, they can come and do the registration by person, also address their affiliates and address the National Electoral Council and give their message to the nation. Also, on the second day, two opposition parties were nominating or registering their candidate and turning them in the official representative of their political force ahead of the July 28th presidential elections. That was the case of Antonio Ecarri of the Lapis Party, the Lapis Alliance, which is one of the center-right parties in the country. It's an opposition party, but also is one of the main political forces that proposes no interference with Venezuela's internal affairs. Also, as part of their program, their government program is the recovery of the Essequibo region and the support to all the legislation that is on behalf of that purpose, of that goal. Also, Ecarri was present there with their affiliates and with other political forces that support him and endorse his candidacy and his nomination. Also, other political forces were present. Juan Carlos Alvarado was ratified and registered as the candidate by other party, the Independent Electoral Political Organizations Committee, COPEI. That is the acronym of this organization. This is one of the oldest organizations in the country and is a right-guided, right-affiliated organization in the nation, and has been gaining traction in prior elections and is one of the eldest, as I was saying, one of the older organizations, and it had a prime political position many years ago with or alongside Acción Democrática or Democratic Action. The candidate by this party also was referring to the need to find common sense and concord between all the political forces to find solutions to Venezuela's issues, and also not to be engaged in confrontations, not to be engaged in asking for more sanctions. And even though they are opposite political forces or they are against maybe the government, they have the common convention and the common idea that Venezuela cannot go into a civil war, not go to a confrontation between parties, nor to find in the conflict a way to resolve nothing. So they were they agreed in this position. And also today other political forces came here to nominate their candidate. In that case, or well, maybe to ratify and register their candidate. In that occasion was Somos Venezuela, Patria para Todos, Alianza para el Cambio y and El Partido Verde de Venezuela. These four political forces are part of the Great Patriotic Poll, and they came here to the National Electoral Council to register Nicolás Maduro Moros as the candidate of these political forces that gathers many leftist parties and leftist organizations, among them ecologist, feminist organizations, LGBTQI organizations. And all of them came here just to ratify their support for the president and their support for a solution for Venezuela's issues and a democratic solution also for these problems. Also, tomorrow there will be the third day for the nomination and the registry of the candidates, and it is expected that more leftist, more right-guided and more independent candidates will come here to officially register to be part of the electoral process. That's the information for today. That's the summary of what is happening today here in Venezuela, in Caracas, and also here in the National Electoral Council. We will have more details in upcoming emissions, and of course tomorrow we will be here to cover these events. And now back to you.
Palestinian authorities report new airstrikes by the Israeli regime in the city of Rafah that left at least 8 dead and several injured. The bombing took place in a residential area in the Nasser neighborhood northwest of Rafah. The authorities reported that among the fatalities were 3 children and 3 women, while the wounded remain in critical condition, while the Israeli occupation forces its invasion of the Shifa medical complex in the Gaza Strip, where it deployed dozens of tanks and vehicles to close in on the vicinity of the hospital. In Palestine, the Israeli occupation forces prevents the access of worshippers to the Al-Aqsa Mosque, occupied Jerusalem, during the second Friday of Ramadan. At least 1,200 worshippers arrived at the temple complex to perform the traditional prayers related to this date, in spite of the restrictions imposed by Israel. Witnesses reported that the Tel Aviv army reinforced its military presence in the north and east of Jerusalem and south of Bethlehem, and also turned back hundreds of believers, arguing that the lack of permits to enter. They also deployed their military in alleys of the old city of Jerusalem and at the entrance of the Al-Aqsa Mosque as part of the harassment of the faithful. We have come to the end of this news brief, but you can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net and join us on social media, Facebook, X, Instagram, Telegram, and TikTok. For TeleSUR English, I'm Alejandra Garcia. Thank you for watching.